All right, so we're now going to Google Forms. If any of you use Google. So this is the enrollment form we've got. I can only show you first names. This is like the people enrolling, which is awesome. It's really important, whatever business you have, that you ask the right questions before people even work with you, whether they're doing a free product or whether they're doing a paid product. So this question here is, what's your main reason for enrolling? And people that have worked in a large campaign, 25G for Samsung, would love to win more corporate long-term clients. This person here, sales help, struggling to take my business vision off the ground, to sell better. There's so many answers here, which is amazing. And it gives me a really good idea of what people are looking for before we even go ahead with this. So instead of guessing, we actually know, yeah, Peter's a legend, how about that? Learning sales, closing. The key question, what's your biggest challenge when it comes to sales? And as you can see, I don't think I believe in myself. I might be burnt out and feel a lack of momentum, and spark, and lack of clarity of the message. Outreach, closing, people saying confidence. So I can get a real idea of what people are struggling with, which is awesome, what their biggest challenge is. All these answers here. And we haven't even started yet, like a month we're doing within the academy. The next question, how do you feel Pete Scott and this Ultimate Sales Academy can help you? So this is cool because I really get to find out what people have enrolled for. I think highly of Pete and know I could be mentored by him and there'll be lots of success. So I want to work with him in any capacity, and I feel at this moment because time and time again he's impressed me with his knowledge and approach without the fluff. To give me confidence, I feel Pete can help me develop a system around that's consistent. So I look for patterns in all of this. Help improve my sales after the day of sales training, and this will give me the extra kick. Sloths, some people put funny answers, but it's all good. Now this is where a lot of people don't realize you've got to ask yes/no questions to get some quantitative data from people. So the question here was, have you ever used a tried, tested and proven system or method to increase your sales? And as you can see, 25.9% of people say yes, so I'm interested to find out what they did. But the vast majority, which I'm really looking for, is no. And there's all these other variations to this as well, in terms of like inconsistency, yes, not fully yet. When I was working, my last business, the list goes on and on. But I can already see that if I'm introducing a method to people, this is really going to help them to succeed, because most people haven't done this. And this one here, 99.3%. Are you ready to move forward and implement the Ultimate Sales Method into your business? So I know that these people are ready. Slothy's meditating. Look at this guy. He's chilling, man. He can sit there all day. I mean, isolation for him is like no problem at all. What is he looking at? Guys, I want you to know that I just like my hat today. I'm having a really bad hair day, so I figured I'll just wear my hat and look like a teenager, as Jamie says, from the 90s. Anyways, I want to show you that we don't just stay indoors. We can get out into this area. We just avoid other people and make sure that we're looking after ourselves. But we're spending most of our time in here and out there on that balcony, so we're getting plenty of fresh air as well. But let's go for a walk. I try and get out as much as I can, keep social distance. Everyone's aware of it now here. Bali is a little slow, but compared to the rest of Indonesia, they're actually quite aware. You go anywhere, everyone's wearing face masks, everybody's pretty concerned about what's happening. It doesn't mean that the world has come to an end. It doesn't mean that there's so much that we can't do. Like, there's so much we can do. It's insane. And I think it's really important, especially through this channel and also through my academy, that I'm going to be sharing all the things that we can be doing during this time, because at the end of the day, this time right now, as I said in yesterday's video, will come to an end. It's a winter right now, but there will be spring. And those people who are prepared, those people who serve in this time, and those businesses that do the same thing, have the best shot, the best chance to come out of this thing really, thriving instead of just surviving. All right, so guys, I mentioned yesterday about that there's so much that we can do to grow a business right now, and this video specifically is how do you grow a business right now despite everything that's happening around the world. There's no denying that it's super tough for so many people, but if you look at last week, everybody was in stress and confusion, at least in the UK, also the United States. But now people are actually moving towards like, okay, what happens after this whole thing and how can I grow my business? And if you're running a business right now, you're getting hit by what's happening out there. There is so much that you can do. As I mentioned, we've already had so many people and small business owners that have opted in and enrolled into my academy, and all we did is open up the doors for free and say, listen, during this time, the one thing you've got to protect is your finances. So I get that. So the best way that I can serve, the best way that I can make a difference is to give you access to the academy. It's a slight pivot in the message because I've never ever opened the doors up for free. To do that and to say, look, just come and join us throughout April and we're gonna have an amazing time. We've had so many people jump on board. And you might be thinking, but that's fine for you, Pete, because there you are in Bali doing your thing. So you've been doing it a long time. So I guess also the question would be, if you're starting from zero, if you're starting from scratch, how can you start a business in this time? I'll tell you that in just a moment, but the reason why I would recommend is such a good time to start a business is because you've got the time right now. You have the gift of time. The chances are you're either in quarantine, you're at home, you're in isolation. Yeah, you might be wondering what the hell to do. So why not start that business that you've been talking about for quite a long time and actually go out there and help some people. Now, what I'm about to share with you isn't necessarily the silver bullet for starting a business in these times, but if I was starting from zero, from scratch, this is what I would do to start a business with the whole COVID-19 going on right now. I want you to paint the scene. You have no clients at all. You are just thinking, I really want to help people through this service. Maybe it's recruitment. Maybe you want to set up a consulting business. Maybe you're a nutritionist or you've just qualified in nutritional therapy. I don't know what it is. Or maybe you help people walk their dog better. I don't know what it is, but here's the good news. There's so much that you can do right now. And it's not just that you have the time. Your target audience, the people that you want to serve, the people that you want to help, they also have the time. They're exploring, they're hopeful, they're looking for new things and new ways to move forward. And this is why I believe anyways that when I put out the posts on Facebook and we sent out an email campaign saying, look, the doors to my academy are open, we've had such an overwhelming and incredible response from people, because up until now there's been, and I've actually seen this in the data, there's been people like, Pete, I really want to work with you, but I'm just so busy all the time. A lot of my target market are business owners, but unfortunately what happens is that the business ends up owning them instead of them owning their business. So they don't end up prioritizing their time to be a part of something like what I've got, which is the academy. But let's go back to you for a moment. Say you're starting from zero, not a single client, and you just want to get going. What I would do in this moment is, number one, is I would get active talking and educating about it every single day. What I mean by that is maybe you start a YouTube channel and maybe you'll do videos on LinkedIn, because nobody does videos on LinkedIn, and what a great thing to do. But you've got to be consistent and not change your strategy every 5 minutes. The biggest mistake that I've made in my life, and also that I've seen many people make when they're trying to get a business going, is what they do is they start with one strategy and they do it for 5 days, 10 days, and then they're like, it's not working, they change. Think about a consistent way that you can get the message out there and you can start raising the awareness of your target audience. And then, to be honest with you, what I would do is I would simply look at helping 5 to maybe 10 people for free and saying, hey, we're all going through a tough time right now. What I want to do is I'm going to be doing this type of business, moving beyond this thing. But what I'd love to do in the meantime is get some case studies on board. So I want to help some people, want to help you. And if you feel that this resonates with you, then I would love to have a chat with you. I'd love to see if this is an ideal fit for both of us. If it is, then we can move forward and you can be one of my test pilot clients. And why not just do that? So that's what I would do right now. If I was literally starting from zero and I wanted to help people increase their sales, I would literally say, guys, I'm going to help 10 people or 25 people, don't go crazy, but 10 people during this time. I want 10 great case studies and I want to help 10 people get through this struggle. And by doing that, you forget about money for the short term. Now, don't get me wrong, you don't do this tactically and just put it out there and hope that people opt in for what you're offering. You still need to be strategic and think long term. Okay, once I've done this, what testimonials will I have? What case studies? You need to document everything. Like right now, you're seeing I'm doing daily YouTube videos and I'm documenting this entire process of opening up the doors to my academy for free. I'm not doing it just because, hey, it's fun to do, although it is fun. I'm doing it because in the future, when this whole thing is passed, I can look back And also I can share real life case studies. And with the hundreds of people that have already opted in for free, by the way, to my academy, guess what? In a month's time, I know that many of them will feel more confident. Many of them would have got through this difficult time, even if we're still in the thick of it or we're getting out the other side of it. And they would have got some incredible results, even if that's like intangible results, like they've increased their skill set, or it could be even tangible results where they've brought in another £5,000, even £10,000 of dollars in sales. So that's what I would do right now. It's just simplify your message. You don't need to create this complex business. Everyone overconstruct their idea anyway. Just be simple and lean into serving people, and then make sure you're doing it with a proper business mentality. I'm gonna share some more in a minute, but I'm starting to sweat, so we're gonna move on. One thing I love about Bali, and the locals put this out every single day. Basically, it's to honor the gods. And yeah, it's amazing. Don't stand on them, but they're all on the street. It's just a really nice part of the culture here. If you know more about this than I do, then comment below, and it'll save me hitting Google and finding out myself. So hot out there. I'm sweating. Look at you.
Look at this.
What?
I bet you've never made...
Slight detour here, guys. What are you making?
Eggy toast. I mean toast.
That's
in a rice
amazing.
cooker, and it's already toasting. How amazing that?
So you just stuck the toast in? So you can...
Well, coconut oil and then...
Jamie's filming this.
Around. Well, I'm not filming right now.
She's not filming this.
But you can cook anything in a rice cooker.
Wow.
Well, you can see it's already toasting.
That's amazing.
So guys, that's my message for today. Keep it simple, but also as well, make sure you consider it as a proper business. And I think being addicted to the short-term wins, chasing the money now and being like, I just want to earn money next week, is not going to help you build a business right now. The way to build a successful business right now is by thinking long-term and doing things right. So for example, with the questionnaires and getting all this data and understanding my target market before I've even worked with them, like, that's invaluable, and it allows me to build my products around their needs, their wants. And so by the time I go to deliver, they're like, Pete, this is exactly what I've been looking for. It doesn't take much. Like, this is a Google form. That's all it is. It's a Google form that you can set up, and you can put questionnaires out. And people love to write about themselves and share that information. Of course, if you're in Europe, you've got to stick with GDPR and make sure that that information is, looked after. At the end of the day, the less you know about your target market, the less you're going to be able to serve them. The more you know about them, the more you're going to be able to serve them on a deep level, and the more you're likely to get through the current world crisis and be able to create a business that you love. So thank you so much for checking out today's video. I'll see you tomorrow.